Hello Sagittarius, I am Ulrich, I'm a Vermont card reader, and today we will do the philosophical financial card reading for your sign for the sign of Sagittarius. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of March, and these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. The subject of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check out the videos that are immediately connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. Also, I want to add, if you have questions, you can always post them in the comments below. And of course, as soon as I have time, I will answer you. So Sagittarius, here we go for your financial card reading for the month of March. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of March. As the first card here, we see the card of cycles. Life is a cycle, everything changes in life, everything comes back here. Here we see that also each cycle of our life, it has certain challenges here. No matter in what stage of life we are, we need to face certain expenses, sometimes also expenses that we did not anticipate. But coming in the regular things here, when probably when you were young parents, or if you are young parents, you believe that after the period of childbirth and infancy, when your child is older or will be getting older here, you will be financially more relieved once they're out of the diapers here. It's of course, we all know this is a dream, because then they become teenager and then they become involved into sports activities, more clothes, there are more costs here. And then of course you think, oh, finally I'm relieved. But of course you already know this is not the case, because then the university is calling, and you are of course you are confronted with the expenses and the accommodations for university here. You will face these expenses. So this means that any period in our life, regard to our children, giving this example, has economic challenges. Also for ourselves, on our house, we bought a house many years ago. If this house is 20 years plus, we know we have some expenses. Sometimes it's the plumbing that need to be changed, some repairs on the roof. Anyway, there are some expenses. This is the circle of life here that we are seeing here. This card tells us we all undergo these changes, but also we need to see that we have certain savings. And here we are urged to make more savings if you don't have them. If there are certain financial unclarities in your life here, we should solve these problems and control our financial unclarities here. The next card that we are seeing here is compensations. What are compensations? Well, if we work hard, everybody likes to have a reward, especially if we make long days, long hours here. But here this card urges us a little bit, instead of buying us gifts, unnecessary things, superficial gifts here, we should take it easy here and take care of ourselves more on the long run and make some savings. It's a little bit as the same as the first card, but how can we reward ourselves if the rewards if we are not able to spend money here? Well, for instance, a simple way, we go out for a walk and we come back, it's very cold outside, and we drink a glass of milk with honey. It's a very big relief because we warm up. It's very hot outside. It depends on the area, of course, where you live. You come back home and you make a glass of iced tea with a lot of ice cubes. It costs you very few here, and you don't have any financial connections. So these are just average expenses. Anyway, we all like treats. We like to have certain services here, but of course we need to see if this is possible here. With this card tells us not to overdo it here, balance ourselves, not destroy certain efforts, not to be generous towards ourselves here. Anyway, it doesn't mean that we don't deserve rewards or awards, but the question here is it wise to do so? Maybe you need some money for the future, you need some savings here, and it's better here that we compensate ourselves here without making our wallet bleed. What can we do more? Well, of course, we can listen to some music, we can take a walk, we can do anything that don't cost money. So you need to find out for yourself what makes you tick, either it's idleness or go for a jog here. Get to know yourself more, make a list what makes you tick here, and you will find rewards here that encourage you without financially costing you. The next card that we are seeing here is the card of heritage, but it's also that the card of that we cannot rely on others for certain finances or certain monies. Sometimes this points that we are in or that we are about to receive some money. This could be the case, or we are expecting it's going to be. But this card tells us to be very cautious. Don't let yourself fooled. If you're expecting money and you would incalculate this, for instance, for your pension or for your business, we always need to be careful. If this is, I'm just giving an example here, if this is that you are relying on the inheritance on your parents for covering your old age, we should be very careful with that one. Unless your parents are already very unfit here, also we need to add, we have not read their will and we don't know if we will be their sole heir. Maybe they prefer a sister, a brother, a niece. We never know here until they have their last breath. So this card tells us be careful, don't make those mistakes here. Also, firstly, we need to also add to this that life expectancy, it has exploded over the last decades, and our parents, as we are, will likely live much longer than their ancestors. And as we get older, we need gradually more savings for services suited to our survival or our conditions. And of course, no one can blame them. Secondly, each individual, we have the right to change our testamentary dispositions at any time. And we never know if our mother or our father, they will not succumb to the young Venus living next door, or Cupid they met on the internet. So we need to be careful with those assessments here. And maybe he or she will decide to favor him or her at the expense of the descendants. Here we are said that monies can be a part of certain financial analysis of certain investments, but nonetheless, we should be very careful with it. This card urges us to plan your investments, old age, independently, and you have already won the battle. So Sagittarius, this is all for the excuse me, for the water group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are excuse me, that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you have interested in work, money, business card readings, you can find these in classic Lenormand card readings on my channel. And there are also the spiritual philosophical card readings, who are very good guides for giving you additional information. Anyway, I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel, Sagittarius, and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the Air or the Aerosol group for your philosophical financial card reading. As your first card here, we see the value of the small coins and bills. What does this card mean? Well, it means that small amounts of money, small coins or bills, they are very important here. Sometimes we don't pay attention. We take the small coins out of our pocket, we pay and we don't pay attention. That the same happens with small bills here. But we know that small amounts, they mount up to big amounts in the end here. And here we are asked to minimize our small expenses, because if we have this card here, it points that it has an impact on our budget on the long run. Even though if it's always small amounts, if you calculate this all together, it comes to a lot of money. Some people get into problems or get into some disturbance financial situation because they tend to spend small amounts of money. So here we are asked with this card to take a critical look at our financial situation, check out if you are easy to pay small amounts of money. Also, we are urged here not to go into discounted articles, even they are cheap here, because actually if we see here, they depreciate actually our money here. Anyway, if we always spend, we tend to consume more here, and we get some form of blinding finances here. This is what we are seeing here. We know that it takes a lot of coins or bills to create 100 that forges themselves into 1,000 a year. So this card tells us that each coin is important for us for the future. So the next time if you visit a store, before you go to the cashier, double check what you are about to buy. Take a critical look at what is in your basket here. Look at all the articles and ask yourself, did I all buy necessities here? Here we see sometimes that we buy a lot of things that are not necessary, and we don't put our value in the small amounts of money here anymore. So this card, it tells us to give back the little coins, the small bills, let it have its moment of glory, and we will quickly amount up to accumulate hundreds in savings. The next card that we are seeing here is the card of awareness, reflecting. What does this card tell us? Well, we all become, maybe you come in a certain awareness of your finances here. And here we see that we are probably thinking about our financial situation. Here, this card tells us that if you want to improve your situation financially, you are the only one who has the ability. If you are in denial or hoping for better days, well, in this financially, this is not really the thing here. We need to be the architects of our finances, of our own life, of our sustainability. This is what this card tells us. We are the one in charge. We have the power to maintain status quo or change our life here. Of course, there are external elements here, unforeseen events, and of course these can change the influence of our course that we have previewed. But in the end, it's management also who makes a big difference here. So here we are asked, we have the binoculars here to take some reflections here. Note your impressions, write down. If you are not happy with your current situation, probably you are not, because else you would not have this card here. Take some time or to reflect here. Make a list what you like about your current conditions, what you don't like. List your hopes. Also, we are asked here to make a plan of action to make it happen. And we need to do this step by step, and we need to give ourselves a perspective. This is the card of perspective. Anyway, it's easy to get carried away by life and the wonders of life here, but this card tells us here not to be passive. We need to become aware, to improve our situation and think about solutions here that can improve our existence. The next card that we are having here, it has two sides. It tells us this card that there are two kinds of debts. We have good debts and bad debts. What are bad debts? We will start with that one. Well, if you have certain credit cards and you don't balance your credit cards out by the end of the month, we are aware we pay interest. Maybe we have some credit card here that is not balanced out. If you don't balance that out, well, it costs you money and it will not improve the situation. So here we are asked if we have certain debts to do a repayment of certain debts here. We need to check it out. Maybe you forgot about it. Maybe you are not aware of it, that that certain cards are still below zero. So you should check this out here and balance it out. Then we have the positive debts. What are positive debts? Well, the positive debts are the debts on our house. For instance, our mortgage, we deduct this from our annual taxes. The interest that we pay, we deduct from our annual taxes here, and these are positive debts. Why are these positive? Well, we can deduct them, but also we have the house in itself or the land, and very few things in life now have value, are fixed, and a house and land, it has in most cases a very good value. And here we see, if we are planning to make some investments in our house, this might be a good thing. These are good debts. And if you have the intention to make some of these debts for your house, this could be a very wise investment to do so. In many cases here, the interests are low now due to the economical conditions. So this could be a good move for you if you have plans in that area. Anyway, we see here that that we need to improve ourselves and that we have the ability to do so, and we need to manage ourselves a little bit here. We need to take the bigger picture for our future and secure ourselves more. We need to make ourselves smile and make ourselves more financially stable. So this is all for the air group for Sagittarius. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you have interest in classic Lenormand card readings, we do these also. These are focused on work and business. You can check them out. They are there also for your sign, for the sign of Sagittarius. If you want a more spiritual approach or spiritual, religious, whatever approach, we do those readings also, and these are very good guides, and they are very additional to the 3 readings that we do every month. So Sagittarius, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for subscribing, and see you next time. Bye bye now, Sagittarius. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of March. As your first card, we see here that every gesture that we are doing is important here. Maybe this card tells us here that we need to learn more financially. Maybe we are unable, we need to learn some financial lessons here. Maybe we are very easy to satisfy ourselves with unimportant things that we are buying here. And this card tells us here that probably we don't have a very good overview how we financially work. Sometimes also this is about bank cards. We are easy to pay with the cards with plastic money. It gives us the impression here that small payments don't have any consequences here. We have no longer exchange of coins or paper money, or very few of us have, and therefore our brain is not calculated in general what we are spending. And here, to improve our finances here, we need to realize, this card tells us that every little bit of amount that we are spending is important. It counts here. We should be aware. This card tells us that people, they came in severe problems, sometimes by spending small amounts of money. It's not always necessary to spend big amounts of money. Sometimes with always spending very small amounts, you come to a big amount also. Anyway, we are urged here to get ourselves back in hand. If you are a person who is easy to spend small amounts of money, and control yourself more here. What we could do here with this card also, what I mentioned earlier, is paying cash. Why should you pay cash? Well, if you actually pay cash, you see the money in your wallet, you hand it over to the cashier and you do an action, and also you see the money disappearing out of your wallet, and it causes a kind of pain reaction in your brain, and it will prevent you, or it makes you more alert that you are about to spend money. This is what the difference is between the 2 payment methods. Sometimes we can control ourselves better here by paying cash. Anyway, here we are urged to stop spending small amounts of money and save this for a rainy day here. We need to educate ourselves financially more. We need to be cautious with our money. It's through a series of small decisions that you will get more stability in your life. And we should avoid here what the next card tells us here, that is satisfying ourselves immediately. Sometimes we work hard and we want to compensate ourselves with a kind of stress reaction, and we buy things. And also the current society, of course, it advocates immediate satisfaction, but in order to improve our finances here, we must be aware of this. We are probably very sensitive for buying fleeting objects. Remember, this card tells us that happiness, it don't come with buying purchases or purchasing fleeting objects. Maybe you are looking for a feeling of fulfillment. And here, but if you buy something, an electronic gadget, a pair of shoes or whatever it is that makes you happy, if we think about it, how long does this feeling last? And is this really worth your effort? Of course, the society that we live in, the consumption society, it teaches us that in order to be happy, we constantly must consume more and more goods. According to TV commercials, it would be unthinkable that we would be fulfilled without being well dressed, having the latest pair of shoes, having all the dream electronics, having the car of the year, or whatever it is here. And we work hard every day. And if we consume more, we need to even work harder. We do this for constantly obtaining this feel of satisfaction. And how do we do this? Well, of course, by spending. Anyway, this multiplication here, it will not fulfill your deeper desire. So here we are asked with this card to pull ourselves together. We need to go in another level of thinking here. This is what we are seeing here. Be aware that this is an FS strength, and you need to learn how to transform yourself from this instant gratification to a more lasting happiness. If you do so, your life and especially your wallet will improve here. You need to try to stop these immediate satisfaction impulses. Anyway, sometimes also we can find a lot of satisfaction with the people that are already close around us. Here, this is important also with our loved ones. The last card is the card of financial education. What does this card tell us? Well, probably also where you live, the money don't fall from the trees here. And it tells us that this is about management, this reading. It tells us here that if we handle money, we need to be able to manage it here. This is what we are seeing here. But this is also actually about our children. If you have children here, this is about learning our children how to handle money. You can easily see if your children are financially educated. I just give an example here. For instance, you're in the mall with your children and they come up with some toy or some doll or whatever, or so something that they want, that they desire for, and they bring it up to you and they say, Mom, Dad, can I? And you say, no, it's not the right time now. And then you get the answer, of course you can, your wallet is full of credit cards. And this is what this card is about. Maybe here we need to see that we need to make some adjustments here. Here this card tells us that it's utopian to think that our children can survive in this hyper-consumption society if we don't turn them into knowledgeable knowledger. We need to teach them how to handle money. You need to hear, probably you don't talk a lot about money here, and we need to talk to our children or to our kids about money. If there are certain taboos, break these taboos, inform them, make them aware of healthy practices, how to handle money. By teaching them here the workings of a good foundation and how money is functioning, you will greatly help them a better, stable life. So Sagittarius, this is all for the Stone Group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading won't fit at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you have interest in work business card readings, you can also see those on my channel. I do this with the classic Lenormands, and then we have the spiritual philosophical card readings. They are a very good addition to the two readings that I'm already doing. Anyway, Sagittarius, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for subscribing, and we see each other next time. Thank you, Sagittarius. Bye-bye for now. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the Matches or the Fire Group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, we see the card of creativity. What does this card tell us? Well, it tells us this card that we live in a world where we can buy everything. There's no limitations here. The current society, it offers us everything, but also it suffocates our wallet and our imagination. And sometimes in the end, we are paying for lack of creativity. I just give an example here. Maybe some birthday is coming up here from a family member, or maybe somebody close to you, and we are looking for a box for putting the present in. But you yourself, if you have take a few moments of your time, you could probably design in a few minutes a nice storage box with recycled materials. But in general, most people, they prefer to take several hours shopping around, and sometimes we pay a lot of money for the dream box, but actually we can do it ourselves. If the birthday, for instance, from your son or daughter is around the corner, with a little bit inventiveness, we can prepare a party ourselves with some drinks, with some home-made cakes, fresh orange juice, whatever it is here, and we will not have to settle with an astronomical bill here. Here with this card, originality is the order of the day. So here we are asked to think out of the box here and ask yourself if this is really necessary that you shop around, if you can do it yourself, and how can you make some changes for being more creative yourself. This is a card of creativity, and we are urged here to think what we could do to be more creative. Sometimes also it's in general that we need to be more creative ourselves as a person. Maybe you have put your creativity in the closet a long time ago, and it's time to get it back out, because the other cards that the next card that we are having here, it's also related to creativity. So here we are asked to be more creativity, and at the same time save money. This is what we are seeing here. Here we are asked to make room for our imaginative spirit in the kitchen, in the office, in our general life, and also related to your family. And we are asked here to take up that adventure again. The next card that we are seeing here is the card of food. Food is very important in our life. We eat every day. We cannot live without food here. But here we see also that we live in a hectic world. We live in a hectic world. We work a lot. Time is precious in our life. We know this because we have the card of time here. But sometimes we are easy to buy takeout meals. And this is about healthy living. Here we see with this card in general that there is a kind of overspending in takeout foods. What does that mean? Well, we go to the mall, we buy the takeout foods or we buy pre-prepared foods for the days to come, or we buy some gourmet meals, but we don't cook ourselves anymore, or we go to the restaurants. This is what we are seeing here. But this card tells us to take your pots and pans back out of the closet. Why? Well, for starters, you will be more healthy. You just buy some fresh vegetables. You buy some fresh vegetables like broccoli or whatever that you like here, and you cook more healthy for yourself. Maybe it's a long time ago that you have been created, that your pans are a little bit dusty there. They're waiting, they're shouting at you, please cook with us here. This is what we are seeing here. And we are no longer devoted here or creative with our pots and pans here. And of course, if we are not, we pay a lot for it here. And this card asks us to stop overspending and start cooking again here. Learn to enjoy here the culinary art again. If you cooked a lot before, we are asked here to pick it up again. If you are not into cooking here, you are asked to cook yourself here. You will eat better, you will be healthier, and of course, you will be financially better off. The last card that we are seeing here is the card of time. What does this card tells us? Well, it tells us on the financial matters that in general, time is not our friend. Sometimes here it means that we have certain finances that need to be arranged. Maybe there are certain debts on credit cards, or maybe something else you need to pay that you have certain arrears, or it might not be big amounts of money here, but here we see we need to balance ourselves out. We cannot ignore the problem stays there. Even if we put our hand in the sand, the problem will not go away here. Here we are asked if there is a financial disturbance in your financial situation, we need to attend it here. We are asked here not to wait for the holidays to return of certain or to wait to certain monies arrive here. Here we are asked to take immediate action. There is no perfect timing for making a repayment here. And here we are asked to make ourselves more financially secure. Probably also, it means that certain habits that you have in your life. Maybe it's related here to the food and being more creative. Here we need to see that we probably need to change some habits in our life. Maybe it's because we spend a little bit too much on restaurants or whatever it is. And here we need to analyze our situation very well. We can do this by taking a pencil, analyze our situation, and see where our spending is going here. If you make columns, how you spend your money, what essential, not essential luxury goods, you can easily see where your money is going here. And here with this card, we are asked to take the reins of our budget here towards more sustainability. So it starts with one thing at a time here, but you need to work it out for yourself here. We need to balance ourselves more out. So Sagittarius, this is all for the air group. I hope you get a little bit wiser of this short philosophical financial card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you are interested in work business card readings related to your work or your business, you can find these. Also, I do this with classic Lenormand card readings. And of course, we have now the spiritual philosophical card readings who give you additional information about yourself. If you put the three together, you come to a nice thing. Anyway, you just check it out. Sagittarius there. And I want to thank you for your time, of course, you spend on my channel. And I thank you for subscribing. See you next time, Sagittarius. Bye-bye for now.